Hello and welcome. We're playing DreadLore, a new TTRPG that rewards immersive roleplay. Tonight's game is Into Space!
Into
I gotta let that calm like a Spanish soccer announcer. In DreadLore, players use their character traits to gain a bit of control over the fiction. If the task is opposed or particularly difficult, they might have to throw down the dice.
Throw down!
Not dice. Let's briefly introduce the cast. I am Jazzi Cabbage, Cherokee. Oh, not characters. Ooh. Howl, Andrea. Daniel Holker is not here yet. Max is not here, and our arbiter Bill Bunkum. And I don't see Drizzle for some reason.
He's there.
You're here. I know you're there. I just didn't see your name, so I was like, wait, we're missing people. Thanks to the music from all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt and our Patreon friends, Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and Daniel Holker. Thanks to Couchfire Media for the production and all of the cool stuff that y'all get to see. Thanks to Terrible Productions for whatever they do.
Nobody knows. Also,
thank you to a sponsor.
Also, thank you to Andrea Elliott-Johnson for being here as well.
Did I skip her? I thought I said her.
Oh, if you I don't think you skipped her.
He
I just didn't hear it.
No, he said it. Yeah. But it's fine.
I noticed it was a hyphen like mid-read, so I just skipped it because I knew I was going to fuck it up. And I was like, we're just going to keep trucking.
No! Oh, no! You cursed! You cursed! Do it again! Do it over again! Do it again and we'll cut that part out.
Will we?
Okay.
5,
Anyways.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello and welcome. We're playing DreadLore, a new TTRPG.
Are we going back to? Okay.
Yeah, we're doing the whole thing again.
Apparently, we're running it back
Yep. We're doing it again.
Do it again.
from the top.
Do it again.
Because you want to save the first 20 minutes without any curse words.
What is it?
That was the
We
goal.
didn't make it through the intro.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Hello and welcome. We are playing DreadLore, a new TTRPG that rewards immersive roleplay. Tonight's game is Into Space! In DreadLore, players use their character traits to gain a bit of control over the fiction. If the task is opposed or particularly difficult, they will have to throw down the dice.
Down.
Make a sanity roll. Briefly introduce. Oh yeah, that's me. Hello, I am Jazzi Cabbage. Ken Howl is part of our cast. I was reading the script a little bit too thoroughly. Andrea
You will now
Howl.
say.
I'm blending names. Oh man, this is.
You're good. Just go. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
I am. All right. So our cast is myself, Jazzi Cabbage, Ken Howl, Andrea Elliott-Johnson, Daniel Holker, Max, and Bill Bunkum. And some of those people are not here, being Max and Daniel. He'll be here later. Thanks to the music, all lowercase letters, and Mr. Interrupt. Thanks to our Patreon peeps, Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and Daniel Holker. Thanks to Couchfire Media for the production and all the visuals you see. Thanks to Terrible Productions for whatever they do.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't have a sponsor yet.
Not yet. We do. We just don't know who
I
it
think
is.
we are ready for a recap.
Subscribe today, soldier! Subscribe and become a citizen!
That's right. Hello. Hi. Hi, everyone. My name's Bill Bunkum. How are you? I'm going to run
Bill.
some DreadLore today. This is how we're all going to talk. Be prepared. Okay, so thank you for everyone who's watching and jumping on the live stream. The ad's about to start. I'm going to stop that ad right now. we are going to attempt tonight for the first 20 minutes to not curse. Specifically, we're going to try to not drop the F-bomb. So, chat, help us out here. Give us some encouragement. Ken, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Bardstown, the last of my Bardstown bourbon. I think I have the bottle. I killed the bottle. There's
Listen,
nothing.
That's some good bourbon, though. That's good bourbon.
It's if you ever drive to Bardstown on the Bluegrass Parkway, you will see it. It's massive.
You'll see it.
You can't miss it. It's there.
Is that the one that caught fire and caused the lake to catch fire?
No, it seems like it's a relatively new distillery, so it's.
Oh.
I think that was Jim Beam, actually.
Yeah, I believe that.
Because one of the what happened is there was like a warehouse fire, and then a bunch of casks got broken, and it leaked all into the river and changed the pH and all that stuff. It was pretty insane.
That sounds
the
like
pH to alcohol.
Jim Beam.
Yeah, basically just
Drizzle, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking good old Rolling Rock.
Rolling Rock. Oh yeah, that's some Richmond brew right there. I actually don't know where Rolling Rock comes from, but I do know that when I was in Richmond, yeah, right, Richmond, I drank a lot. What is? I just edited myself. What is a Latrobe?
No, it's Latrobe somewhere. It's the city, I think.
Does it have letters after the Latrobe?
No.
Or is it just like Latrobe on the moon?
It says from the glass-lined tanks of old Latrobe.
I'm pretty sure that's Richmond. It's not. Andrea, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Promised Land chocolate milk.
Some chocolate milk.
Rich and creamy. Yeah.
You like the chocolate milk. Is that some oat milk?
No.
Is it some almond
All
milk?
milk.
It's whole milk.
Yeah.
From the teat. And Jazzy, what about you, man?
So I'm mainly California sober, so I am partaking in some bubble bath.
What is a California sober? What does that mean?
It means that you're a gardener, friends.
I understand what you mean. I get you. I am drinking.
No.
I know exactly what you. Are you going for the creative vibe or the sleepy vibe?
Yes.
Indeed. I get you. This is Powers whiskey. Powers is the bomb. Yeah, I just found this at a local Irish pub. All right. Pretty soon.
They let you take the whole bottle?
Yeah, they let me. Yeah. So if you're in the chat, you might feel like perhaps we're stalling. It's because we are. Hulker. That's right. The Incredible Hulker will be here fairly-ish soon, and we'll find out what Hulker's drinking.
He's waiting for just the right moment so that you can be in the middle of
the moment.
Yes.
Yes. He's one of the viewers. He's like with his hair. Right. So we're playing Into Space tonight.
Space.
This is a near future. This is a near future-ish setting in the game system of DreadLore, L-O-R-E. Go to dreadlore.com. You can get a book and all those things. There's a paperback. There's also a hardback. There's a getting started guide for free. And jump on the Discord. There's a link on the website. We want you to jump on the Discord because we are running games for people that are new and would like to play. I might do like a little cash prize. When I say cash, I don't mean cash. I mean like a book, like a PDF of the book. So, Okay.
Relax.
This is part 2 of a pretty interesting scene that we've got going on. The long, the short of this campaign is this. A bunch of space marines, which are the players you see before you, and Katrina. Although Katrina is technically conscripted into the Space Marines, she doesn't necessarily agree to that. This group of fascist space marines are on a colony, a distant colony, good 10 light years from Prime, which is the name of Earth now. And they're trying to take back the colony, essentially. Okay, this is an adventure-esque type of campaign. These guys have been on multiple different adventures within this setting, and this is just the current one. So, let's describe, where is your character? Actually, who is your character? Give us a little byline at the top of your sheet. So I am a such and such, the such and such that does so. Okay. So name your character, your byline on your character sheet. Then where are you and what is immediately happening? Okay. And if you mess that up, that's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. We're in the montage. This is just kind of talking. There's no bidding here. Don't tell us why, unless it's really, really interesting. We'll start with Katrina.
Okay. Well, I am playing Katrina Telmus, who is a Martian princess turned mercenary and has been a mercenary for the last 10 experienced years of her life. And now she got, betrayed / kidnapped by some pirates and was quote unquote rescued by the PMC guys, and went along with the mission, and now she is kind of not on board with the mission parameters anymore, and so currently she is stuck in cryo sleep, waiting to see what happens next.
Indeed. Also, you get a pip for using the PMC, Prime Marine Corps, which is actually in the lore, so well done. For the chat, if you guys have any questions about the setting or questions for the players, if you want to suggest things to the players, let us know in the chat, and Drizzle will let you know. Hey, Drizzle.
Yes.
Who are you playing?
I am Skip Trace, who is a grunt who follows orders. Had some stuff happen and was higher, but has been knocked back in ranks. So now he's trying to be a yes man as much as he can. Currently, he has just stopped the cryo process on Katrina's cryo bed. So it takes a little while to put them completely under, so he stopped that process, so it'll revert back to normal.
I am actually going to break my rule. Why?
Why? Because his commanding officer told him to wake up Katrina.
Ooh. Speaking of, and we'll have Ken go last. Jazzi, since you are Skip's immediate commanding officer, who are you playing?
I am Lieutenant Cherokee Sue. I am, I guess, third in command now in this structure. If you're counting the fourth, I guess there's two. Anyways, I'm directly under Dalby. I am a 6'10" field medic with door kickers. So I'm always along for the ride. I'm a little bit of the mediator in the group.
Definitely.
We'll see. We'll see if I can pull it off again.
Yep. And we'll go to Ken.
I didn't say what I was doing. I just realized. Do I need to do that?
Say what you're doing first. Do what you're saying.
It's my bad. I forgot.
No bad. There's no bad.
So I asked Skip last time to stop the cryo process because I was told by Dalby to do so. I administered some Con's tongue as the process was being shut down. It's like a sedative. It's basically combined with the chemical used for cryo. It's what we use for anesthesia in the future. So the plan is to wake Katrina up relaxed.
I love it. And Kennetha.
I am Ken Howl. I play a character called Dolby, Captain Dolby Newman,
A captain, that's right.
and spelled with a K. Captain Dolby Newman is currently storming through the ship, probably a bit unhinged because he's in Vegas time, baby. Like he's been going. He's taken the quirt. He's been drinking a fair amount. He's evened out. He's been in some battles, and he's given a lot of orders, and he feels like things aren't moving fast enough. So, it's time to pay the piper.
The piper shall be paid. All right. So, how are we doing with the cursing? We're pretty good. How long has it been? It's been like 2 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's 2.5 minutes.
God. Go.
13 minutes.
13 minutes.
Even tell you.
Seven more. No one curse.
It was
Feels like an eternity. I'll tell you that much.
I know, it's just terrible.
So
it was
hard.
I'm like
7:23 when we did
I'm almost
the,
cursing every minute. Okay.
when we did the cut.
So that is that is where we're starting. Ken, is it possible for you to do this intro scene without Dolby cursing? Is that actually?
I mean, what do you call a curse word? I mean, friggin' A.
No,
man.
don't say the F, man. Don't say it. It'll ruin it. It'll ruin it. All right. Well, what we can do, man, is we can do a little bit of a setup for this. Katrina, you just had a cryo dream. Sort of a cryo stress dream. Can you describe what that was? What you gleaned from it? And what is your general situation right now? What is the conflict?
The conflict is that, well, I guess we'll start with the beginning. The whole reason that, Katrina fled or started life as a mercenary was because she didn't want to be tied down by other people's rules anymore to begin with. Even though she was in the upper crust of, society, so to speak, the way her family was structured was that her life was laid out for her, and she kind of had no choice in the matter. So she gave all that up to go work as a mercenary, and so when it became clear that Dolby was somebody that she did not enjoy working with in general, and didn't trust, she basically was like, nope, I'm out, bye-bye.
Can I hit pause really quick?
Be a part. Yeah.
I want to hit pause really quick because I actually just realized I'm doing therapy. I love it. Why? Jazzy was like, what? Why? What was Katrina's goal for being a mercenary? I love this. We'll say that this is a little readout. It's like a readout on the cryo, okay? And I like the idea of Silas being there, pulling out the readout. It doesn't like get all of your secrets, Katrina.
Yeah.
But what it does is kind of like in that terrible movie, Alien Covenant. The cryo chamber can actually read a little bit of your thoughts and your dreams.
Yeah.
And so, in a way, Silas and Silas and Cherokee and Skip, you can actually see this readout, and maybe it's Silas who's translating it, and you guys can get some insight into Katrina. So
Well, and that makes sense to to me that's fascinating too, because particularly like a lot of that stuff would be literally on the surface of her mind given the dream she's having. So
I love this. Don't slouch. No one is allowed to slouch right now. DJ
what
No
she
Fly
really
just dropped some dread points to make us all not slouch.
she wanted more than anything to have adventure and be in control of her life, because she knew if she had joined the military, sure, she could have joined the military, but given her family's reputation, she would have been put, in an officer position, and all she would have done was, be either somebody who never saw action, or she would have been put in a position where she was safe and secure and never had any real adventure of her own.
I want to ... that really quick. Since we're in the dreamland of, it was a nightmare basically that you were dealing with, and Archangel was somehow pulled into that because his theurgy, his pseudoscience and technology just mixed and he was in your dream, and it was a bit of a nightmare. As you think about this, since it's on the top of your mind, Katrina, why didn't you, maybe you're in this dream, one of the assailants, because there's like 4 or 5 dudes that are attempting to, board members that are attempting to hold you down and stab you in the neck with like juice. One of them says, why did you not go into the military? And maybe you think or say what you just did. You wanted to see action. And in your other ear, someone says, well, aren't you seeing action? Isn't Dolby giving you that? Aren't you handed? And then it like flips, like the voice is, it's all dreamy. Your brother is sitting there and somehow you're not being assailed. You're actually given over and over a chance to do something, to make something of yourself. You throw it away.
And in that regard, control is that key factor for Katrina, like always being in control of her destiny.
What does she say?
She says, I want to be in charge of where I go and who I fight for and what jobs I take on. And she might even, because at that point she knows it's a dream. She'll say, do you know how many jobs I've turned down over the years just because I didn't agree with what they were doing? And when they try to pressure me into working for them even though I didn't want to, I made them disappear.
You see the scene sort of change, and it's your father sitting there. He's sort of in the shadows and in the dark, like Katrina's father always was. Maybe he was executed, or perhaps exiled or something. What became of him?
Her father probably honestly became probably a drunk and just like became a recluse. Like he would have been a kid around the time that the Martian civil war or the war was happening. So he grew up in the midst of that conflict and with that stigma of being a turncoat with people who actually that were affected by that. Like maybe some of his friends were on the Martian side and they got shafted when his grandfather, when his father.
I love it. So this is what we're gonna do: fate roll. So fate roll, fortune. That's what it was, Katrina. As you say, that is the narrative that you would like. Maybe not that Katrina would like, but that the player came up with. False fortune is going to be something along the lines of a little bit more nefarious. So I'm going to put it to the players. What is a little more nefarious? Drizzle.
That he was caught inside trading type sort of stuff.
Ken.
Yeah, he was an insider trader, but he was also like on the Martian side of the Civil War.
Ooh, so kind of like
yeah,
Jazzy.
Ken took my idea.
It can be something in your all's favor. This is the false fortune.
My thought is that maybe he was obstructing like an investigation into some business practices.
Like Telmar Shipping's business practices outside of the system. I love it. Okay, so Katrina, here it is. Here's gonna be the fate. Go on, Ken.
I was just gonna say, and it's why Katrina's not a citizen.
Ooh, I love this. So Katrina, it's either fortune, what Katrina believes her father was. He was, and you're gonna get to dictate what that was. You'll get to reiterate it, or it's what we just said. So who's gonna roll? For this, since everyone put in for this, I'm gonna let Katrina roll for this. Okay? Is that cool with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need somebody that's not the fate roll, right?
Yes. So I'm asking you guys, is that cool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Go for it.
Okay. Because I don't want to give you a dread point. All right. So, Katrina, you get to roll. You want fortune or false fortune?
Fortune.
Drizzle, you're false. Let's do it. What is the story of Katrina's father? Why does it matter? It's cool. It's cool.
I don't think you can beat me, Drizzle.
Probably not. I got a whole 14.
I got 100.
Really?
Ooh.
That's awesome. Does anyone want to drop a proficiency? Does anyone want to proficiency to change that?
No, dude, she can control the narrative about her dad. I feel like that's healthy. Maybe not,
Yep.
but it works for the story.
I love it. All right, Katrina. There are all these rumors. Okay, so for all of you that gave a rumor about her father, you will gain that as a trait, folded into your own story. It's some sort of knowledge, some sort of connection that you have. Maybe why you heard it. Maybe you were in a certain boot camp, and maybe you were on Mars. But you all get free traits. So decide what those are. Katrina, tell us what the story is, the truth, and why does Katrina know it?
So I like this because, what the truth is what happened with her father is that he basically just progressively became more and more depressed and eventually maybe not quite insane, but not coherent enough to be active in society any longer. He just became a reclusive drunk, kept up in his house, and it started slowly at first, like he'd stop going to social events, and then he just stayed in all day doing nothing but drinking, the finest alcohol he could get, that he could buy, that their money could pay for.
I believe that's some
eventually...
Bardstown bourbon is what that is the finest, or maybe some Rolling Rock.
From
some place called Latrobe.
Could you imagine a 2024 vintage in this timeline?
Dude, continue.
But eventually he just became so useless and detrimental to the family that he got completely cut off and cut out of all the business dealings and everything, and that and Katrina has heard a lot of these rumors herself because she knows that her father just randomly disappearing for no apparent reason got people talking about, well, why is the next head of the Telmar shipping company going missing, for no, there's got to be a reason for it, and so the rumors were people started talking about, well, maybe he was really a secret Martian sympathizer, or maybe he was dealing with some black market crap and got caught, and they the Prime took him, he's in some supermax prison on Prime, that they don't tell you about, or something like that. But she knows that
the truth.
Yeah, but Katrina knows her dad basically just is held up in one of their mansions on Mars, and is just locked in his study all day, just drinking, anything he can get his hands on.
All right, are you ready for this? What are your flaws?
Mine?
Yep.
Stigma, fallen woman, ungrounded, and Jingle? Oh yeah, Jingle from the, yeah.
So I'm going to bid for you one of those flaws. I like the idea. Fallen woman, I don't think applies here. I think this is actually the opposite of that. What are they again? Fallen woman, Jingle,
Stigma,
and Stigma.
Ungrounded.
I'm gonna bid ungrounded. Now, perhaps this is a little bit of the Arbiter's conservative upbringing. Heh. I'm gonna bid ungrounded for you. As you realize I knew it. As you realize seeing Hoker arrive. Da-da!
Into space.
Hey! Hoker, we're gonna introduce you in just a second. Katrina, as you realize seeing your father in the shadows like you used to do, you would maybe visit him here and there. And he was always in the dark, exactly as you described. He would turn, you would smell the whiskey. And the Rolling Rock cans that he would kick at your feet all over the ground. And as he turned, he's a little angry. Not at you. He loved you. But he was angry for so many reasons we could describe. And you realize it. You realize he reminds you this authority figure who probably Drizzle already knows what I'm about to say. Drizzle, I will allow you to go ahead.
As you look at what your father had become and the state that he's in and all the anger he holds inside, in this vision dream world, he slowly morphs into someone that you've seen recently. And you see standing there across from you the form of Dolby Newman.
Oh! Yes! Yes! Oh, it's worth it. Oh, Katrina's not happy. Right. Drizzle. You get a narrative point, which is honestly less than you should get, but that is awesome. That's exactly what happens. Really quick, in the real world, you guys all looking at the cryo chamber, and Silas is reading this out.
It's like a court stenographer or whatever it is.
Yeah. What's your reaction as you hear a calamity coming towards you down the fuselage? Which, Ken, we will have you describe that here in just a moment. Yeah, action is on you all in the real world around the cryo chamber. What is your reaction?
Well, that explains a lot.
I mean, I think we all knew that already.
I thought he went away for insider trading.
That's really good. That's good. You get a pip. Katrina, so I bid this flaw for you. You realize that your father and Dolby are very similar. And because it's a flaw, you got sympathy. Action's on you.
Maybe we're just both picturing the Katrina and her father's relationship very differently. If anything, I think Katrina would be more confused. Why? Because he knows that this is her subconscious, doing this shit. So she's like,
I love every bit of what you're saying because Katrina does not want to accept what she's seeing. And in fact, you actually just answered what her subconscious tells her. This is conflict. Her father says what I just said. He says, drinking. Cheers. So you're going off, huh? You're going off again.
Yeah, I mean, I can't live with my future dictated to me my entire life anymore.
You're going to dictate your future, aren't you?
I'm gonna do my best.
And you're going to give up all that responsibility of what's around you, aren't you?
I can't take responsibility for the actions of people who came before me.
You see him kind of do the old man thing where he's like, the face. Oh, I know what you mean. Cat. He'll call you Cat. But, thing is, sometimes what you think is other people's responsibility is yours. You know, you're given the shot you're given, and you're where you're at. He turns as you start to walk away, maybe. And you hear some rolling rock cans, scuttle. He says, Don't make the same mistake I did, honey.
The difference is, and I only say this because I love you, Dad, but the difference is I'm trying to build something and you were trying to run away from it.
As you see him sort of settle down into himself, as maybe that scene actually, or some variation of that scene actually did happen. In the darkness, as he looks up, you see Dolby's eyes instead, but it sort of morphs with your dad's. There is going to be a similarity between how they look, which is weird. There's a lot more anger there. Dolby, what does her dad say?
I would say that I'm not surprised. I'm not disappointed that you make the choices that you do. And I wish you the best.
Thanks. And I hope you can find some peace one of these days.
There's no peace. There'll never be peace. And I take a big drink.
And with that, Katrina will turn and walk out the door.
Reactions in the cryo chamber?
I hope nobody's watching mine when I'm in cryo.
Oh, I super watch everybody's when they're in cryo. I'm the last one down every time.
Yeah, Jazzi, that I was gonna give you a flaw for that, but that's a trait of yours. What
Like,
is
I'm
the
getting
trait
the
that you
tea.
have? It's like
voyeur.
you and Burgess. You and Burgess are watching TV.
I have cryosomnia.
That is a trait. It's gonna be a flaw. That's a good trait. Write that down on your thing. Not to get too in the weeds with this. Katrina, what do you get from this nightmare? Or this lucid dream, I should say. Does Katrina, does she grow from this? or does she rebuff it?
Probably a little bit of both. She will rebuff the notion of other people trying to, dictate. Because the core aspect of this fever dream was, her brother and the executives trying to force her into compliance. But she will grow in regards to taking responsibility on her own terms, I guess.
I'm going to say, and you're going to play your character how you want, but I'm going to say this. This will sting in her mind. The reason that her dad is a failure is because he did exactly the same thing. Can anyone explain what I just said? Please, I'll open it up to the table. If you guys haven't guessed, since this is PvP, this is your all's attempt at convincing Katrina of something, or her attempt at convincing you of something. So keep it in game. What did I just mean? Since, I'm a guru and I can't curse right now. Ken?
I think it's been 20 minutes. I think we can
Yeah,
curse.
we should be
We
way
should be
past
safe.
the 20-minute mark.
We should be safe from cursing.
Well, Ken, what did I mean?
Well, I think what you said is that her father was a failure, and she brings that failure with her, thinking that she's going to somehow be different. But the universe is a big place, and it's not going well. She's been abducted by pirates. She doesn't really have much to account for herself, and she's getting ready to go on the same path to, if she lives, she's going to be in a room alone, hooked up to some machine, being used as a battery.
Katrina, in this nightmare, you see some scientist that looks like he's like a 20-something-year-old scientist from like the movie Aliens, if you've seen that movie. Lab coat, short cropped hair. He's saying that about you. Jazzi. What do you think about the scene? What can Katrina benefit from it?
I think that Katrina could benefit from accepting help from somebody. There's like this adamant desire to do it all yourself. And like, if we're in a flashback, we're going to flashback to the scene where we're sitting in the bar and Cherokee Sue is telling her, like, hey, I really would like it if you would be our liaison for Telmar shipping so that the SSA can ship ore. Like, you could be your own boss.
How does Katrina respond to that? Since we're in that scene right now. You're in that bar with Cherokee Sue.
That would be nice, but that doesn't seem to be Dolby's plan.
Keep going.
Hold on just a second. Sorry.
No worries.
My dog is sitting on something that I need.
There's a dog that just seems to be wandering around your feet.
Here we go.
And Katrina will follow up with that, basically saying, I don't do orders. It's why I'm a mercenary.
First of all, you are contracted to do a thing. Those are orders. Bing, 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 bing. Secondly, Dolby has charged me with figuring out what to do with you. You have been an adversary this entire time. He has given me the freedom to make a decision. I'm just saying, why don't you go be you, and you get to be your own boss. This cleans up some of our mess. You don't have to deal with Dalby anymore. You get to be your own boss. I'm just not sure what I'm missing.
Well, that doesn't seem to be Dolby's proposal. I mean, that sounds fine to me, but that's not what is going on right now.
Okay, cool. So we're talking in a circle.
Yeah, that's
All right. So I'll say it one more time just to be clear. Dalby has given me the creative liberty to do with you what I will. His suggestion was murder. My suggestion was an allyship. Why don't we work something out so that you can be your own boss like you want to? You can travel the system all over the place and tell Mar's name. Like, I just, you don't have to deal with Dalby anymore. Like, I understand that there was an obligation to be with us because we rescued you from the, in quotes, I guess, rescued you from the pirates, and then now you're, running around with us. Let's be clear. The world is dying, and we're trying to escape. Like, there's not a lot of time to dally or dilly. I just want you to know that my opinion on what we as the crew are going to do with you is up to me. And the other option besides allyship is murder. I'm not trying to force you into an ultimatum here, but you're not really giving us a choice.
I mean, okay. I don't know. That's about the best I got right now.
As Katrina, the dream morphs as Cherokee sort of wafts away, his massive self. Whoa.
Doesn't go all the way through the wall at first, and then goes.
You can tell. This is your subconscious, but at the same time, maybe it's allowing you to hear their voices. Something you didn't catch the first time. Cherokee, this prime Marine, cares. Whether you agree with him or not, he cares. As the scene sort of morphs. In the cryo room, what's the reaction?
Well, I mean, I guess I left my helmet on. Y'all heard the whole conversation. This is a little less awkward than it was feeling for me for a second.
Drizzle, I know you're waiting on me to call on you. However, I want you to speak up.
I don't know. All you hear, Andrea hears, or not, Katrina hears, and after what he said, just Skip's voice, and all Katrina hears is him go, I knocked her out, but I tried not to do any damage. I tried to make sure she was okay, but unconscious.
I mean, great work, Skip. I'm going to give you some nooks just for funsies.
Katrina, you hear this sort of weird echo. It's almost unintelligible, but you can tell that it's the voices of your comrades. In this boardroom, Archangel is there. He's kind of distant, but you can see him as almost like an exit. As the dream is attempting to tell you something. Is it outside influence? Is it your own mind coming in? Is it doubts and such about your situation? You are given, or you remember, a certain few things. You don't know who's in control of the Ansible or who has access to it. Telmar has enemies that likely can hear it. If they get here first, you are endangering Telmar. Worries, lots of emotions. We're going to drop into the dread because we're about to drop into the dread. Katrina, what do you bid to deal with this influx of emotions? Or do you just let it happen? Which would just be a sanity roll.
No. I will bid. I'll bid a new, because I just had to drop the load on my pips.
Nice.
I'll bid my new trait, Regal Presence.
Regal Presence. As you start doing it, you feel something cold gripping your heart. The threshold is 10. However, outside in the cryo room, she starts going into cardiac arrest, all kinds of hell's breaking loose. Silas looks up at you, Cherokee, and over at you, Skip Trace, with the look. Cherokee, you know what the look is. As Silas goes, she is in a bad way. What do you guys do?
So I'm gonna rip this bitch open and start doing CPR.
What do you bid?
Talking about the cryopod. So I'm gonna use. I realized I was like, that's a really ambiguous phrase there.
I love it. I love it.
So I'm gonna use fuck it up, and I'm literally just gonna rip this bitch open.
Okay.
You know, there is a medic on the ship.
Indeed.
So, you know.
Indeed. All right. As you bid that, Katrina, the threshold just dropped to 6. Skip Trace, what are you doing? And remember, you do have a Burgess.
I'm going to. I can't bid it because I've already used it.
Are we in a new scene, technically?
Nope.
Oh,
Oh no.
okay.
You guys have to deal with Dolby in this scene. Okay. It's about to happen.
I'm going to help with the cryo, being the cryo expert, but I don't.
Okay, do you want to flip flop it then? Do you want to do something first and then allow me to go in and do like CPR instead? I hate the table talk here, but you can actually open this correctly.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Okay,
I'm going to
I'm
bid.
gonna flip flop it and back out for a second.
Do you
I'm
drop
going to
a bid?
bid seasoned, which is my tiered play, to activate cryo expert, just because I'm not really doing anything, but I want to activate cryo expert because that's my trait that it deals with it. And I'm going to, you see Skip pop up there, and he pulls out his knife, but he doesn't jimmy it in. He just uses it to separate the seal a little, to pop it open quicker than it was going. But he does it to where you can tell he's doing it with finesse. It is not tearing it like he's not tearing it apart. He's doing it just well.
So the scene is Cherokee starts to rip open the cryo chamber as Skip interjects.
Yeah. I'm
Yes. I'll use a pip to make sure that happens.
I love that. Okay. I'm about to screw you
So I'm gonna
all
use
up.
field improv.
Ken, be ready. Go on.
So in that case, since we flipped, I'm going to use field improv instead, and I'm going to put her on the floor and start administering CPR.
Okay. Burgess, you are in the engineering room with Dole Engineering. That's a floor beneath them. Technically, you don't know this is happening unless someone tells you. However, Dole is in a bad way. He's passing out as he's attempting to fix the engine. We will get to you in just a moment, okay? As you all are doing this, Katrina, the threshold just went from, did I say 6?
Yeah.
Yes.
Goes back, or now it goes down to 3. As
So
they
wait,
are.
so what, like, What am I? What am I rolling besides obviously
So-
D10?
Yep, D10 action die, and what is the aspect that you wish to, not go into cardiac arrest and die?
Grace.
Okay, how does that work?
The acrobatics of my internal or my internal immune system or my we'll say my graceful heart.
All right, threshold's 5. Go ahead.
You. I can see it now. I'm saying fuck you.
That is part of it.
Fine, then I'm gonna bid siege and ship bait so I can navigate this situation.
I love it. Threshold is 5. Go ahead. Unfortunately, as you go on, roll your stuff.
Okay.
While this is all happening, you guys are so involved in the storyline of Silas's readout and what you're doing. Maybe you don't quite notice what is happening in the fuselage. Dolby, you get a free cunning as you are going first. You exit the cockpit. What's happening?
I am pissed. I've lost all sense of who I am and who my crew are, because I've given a bunch of orders and nothing has happened. We're sitting here on this ship, so I am enraged. I am losing it, and I'm not quiet about it. And I'm like, I yell into my intercom, Burgess, Dole, get this ship off the ground. I don't care what you have to do. Burgess, if you gotta fucking give him a spike, give him a spike. I'm gonna fucking deal with the lieutenant, and I want this ship off the ground in 10, or there's gonna be hell. And then
That's 5.
I burst into the med bay.
Go for it. You see, hey, what does Dolby see?
Are you tossing that back to us?
Yeah, you're in the throes of doing what you're doing. What does Dolby see as he bursts?
Got you. So I'm doing CPR on Katrina, and Skip was.
I've got the cryo bed complete. Like as Skip was like lifting it, like as he was getting the lift up, you had already reached in and pulled her out, and so like he's still in the process of getting it all the way open, and you've already drug her out, and it's and she's on the floor, and you're
flopping around. As Dolby, you roll in and you see this scene. Action's on you.
Is she gonna be conscious?
I hope so.
All right, good.
we stopped cryo early, but she's had some sort of cardiac situation. This has not happened when I've not run across this very often in halting cryo.
I'm gonna reach into my bag and like give her a dose of quart. I'm gonna juice her up.
Katrina, how many successes did you get?
5.
So you're at limbo as you're gracefully dealing with the situation. You start to wake. You feel no pain, although your body does, but you have got a disconnect going on. You can see Cherokee trying to save your life. You can see Skip Trace look over, his fucking mustache going everywhere, even despite his helmet, like Dr. Wily. with this look of concern on his face. You see Dolby with his face very determined as he sticks you and you burst out of limbo. So you're awake. The butt. The butt is this. You have to consider what they say. That doesn't mean you have to agree. I'm talking to the player right now. Consider what they say. Now I'm talking to the other players. You all do what you want to do. I, the arbiter, will let it happen. What do you all do? The action is on you.
I grab Katrina by the collar.
I'm going to use cunning. I'm going to use a cunning. I'm going to box Dolby out to at least allow her to stand up.
This is going to get bad. Stand down, Lieutenant.
So, first of all, I didn't finish this, and I'm also going to grab her so that you don't hurt her. I have her.
Katrina, as soon as Dolby grabs
Still
her
going to go
collar,
bad, I'm sure.
Katrina will say, hey, whoa, I know we're in a sex dungeon, but, we need to set up a safe word first.
All right, princess. All right, we've tried it the
I'm
hard
holding
way.
her up above Dolby so he can't get to her.
We've tried it the hard way. I have certain abilities to adjust your situation within my disposal. So I'm going to lay it down one more time. I need a pilot for this ship. If I don't have a pilot, I'm pretty sure we're all dead because you're going to be on this ship and I'm going to be flying it. So I recommend that you do whatever it is that you have to do. And after this mission, I can guarantee you citizenship with the SSA, the United Soul System Authority.
But I already have citizenship.
You don't have citizenship. I checked into that. I could do whatever I wanted to do with you. Since we saved your life, I realize you don't want to be in the military and you want to take this, and you've made it the hard way, but that's fine. I need this ship off the ground 20 minutes ago, and I know you can do it. You're the best damn pilot I've ever seen. You've done things that ships aren't supposed to do. We are in a bad place. And look, the only way that you're gonna live is if you get in that pilot seat, because I'm pretty sure me flying this little boat isn't gonna be great. So I'm gonna put you in the chair.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna put you in the chair, Cherokee. You manager. And
can I put you in the pilot seat so we don't all die? I'm reminding you, you're a little high, by the way. I gave you Con's tongue before you came out of cryo.
So Jazzi, so you know the reason that you all were able to influence her dream is because of the Con's tongue. So there's no mechanical thing there. Oh
shit!
That's
You're
why
genius.
you were.
I love it.
That's not a genius. That's why you were able to do it. So Katrina, action's on you.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Fine. But citizenship is not an incentive. I can just buy it when I get back. So, you think of something more to sweeten the pot a little bit, and I'll get us out of the situation.
So Dolby, can I put her down without you murdering her, or should I carry her all the way to the chair?
Yeah, take her to the chair. Put her in.
Okay. So I do that. Just, are you kicking and screaming the whole time, or are you chill at this point? Like,
No, I'm
just
just
holding you.
going to the chair. I'm just going to the chair. Yeah.
It is a new scene.
Oh shit.
Finally.
Good.
Oof.
This is
Well
gonna take a
done.
while to...
Well done, cast Burgess, before this new scene goes down for you, Dolby just gave you orders. You are in the engine room. It's thrumming. Woo, 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 woo. Actually, it's not because the power's off. It should be thrumming. Dole is looking at you. You see he's like coughing. He's looking placid and terrible. Like he's been stabbed. He has a hole in him that's got this grotesque meat plug in it. You're wondering perhaps how he's alive as he's tapping buttons, and Dolby says, Dolby, can you repeat your orders to Burgess?
I said, I don't care what you do. If you can give him a little spice up his tea, if you can get him moving, get Dole moving. What was the? I can't even remember the word. I was in the moment. I said.
Oh, you actually used the thing in the game, like the actual juice, like the adrenaline. I forgot what it's called.
Juice him up.
Quart.
I said juice him up.
Or
You actually said give him a spike.
Yeah, give him
which
a spike.
I'm going to give you a pip for. That's awesome. Give him
Yeah.
a spike should
Yeah.
be the nomenclature that you guys. We just call him
So
spike.
what's the
instead of stem
actual
spike.
thing called?
So a spike just means a stem pack, which means a health potion. In our deal, medkit, it could mean quirt, an upper of some sort, something that gets you going. That's giving you a
That
spike.
was the one that could
You could also go the Expanse, which is an awesome show people should watch. It's the juice.
Yeah, the juice.
The juice.
Give him the juice. Give him a spike.
So any needle administered drug is giving him the spike. I just know what he means by that.
That's right. It's whatever is at
Okay.
hand. So Burgess.
As I'm looking at Dole, seeing the state that he's in, I hear the orders given by Captain Newman over the intercom, and I look at Dole and I say, "Yes, Captain." Then I get up because I'm a medic, but he may not realize this, but that's okay. I get up, I look around, and I would like to spend a narrative point if I have to know where the medic kit is.
Oh, you see it. It's right over there.
Okay, yeah. So I go over there, I open it up, I get it out there, and I find the spike stick, kind of like an EpiPen,
Yep.
right? And it might as well just be an EpiPen with
With the SSA logo.
It's not $600 because we're in the future, and you know the entire
no,
world
it's
is run by
6,000.
insurance
All right,
corporations.
so
6 cents times a million.
it's 6,000, but it's actually really cheap because of several centuries of inflation. Anyways,
You both get pips. Go on.
yeah. So I grab the $6,000 or whatever pin out of the medikit, and there's two. I'm gonna keep that in mind.
There's 6 total.
6 total.
Yeah, there's 6 usage.
Yeah.
However you use a medkit, the ninja gear, the medkit, there are 6 uses. So just mark them off.
You also have as a medic ninja gear, like a moderate health kit as well. Like on your person.
Yeah. So I will actually bid medic because it is a skill that's been on my character since day one. And I will go over to Dole, and I'll look at Dole and I say, "What part hurts the most?"
He looks up at you. He says, "Hey Ken, what would he say?"
The place where you put the meat plug in.
You get a pip as he just points. I don't think it'll work there though.
I don't think it'll work. There.
Just give it to me right here as he he sticks out his tongue.
I say, "Yes, here it is." And as I hold it up, and he thinks it's going there. Oh no! Straight to the thigh.
Not the thigh! As he starts messing about with the goodness. Burgess, you note Dole doing something with the engine. It's a big wall. Imagine a 1970s computer with lights and boops and bops. There's a large charred mark in part of it. And Dole seems to be rerouting the Christmas lights around that. It seems like he's trying to get the Christmas lights to go to the other side of it, and he's cursing about it. You can
Fucking
bid.
computers.
Everyone's face is perfect for this. It's really, yeah, okay. You can bid Dole if you want, or you can do something. Remember, you are the player character. The limelight's on you. Dole is an NPC, so you can bid him to bring him into it, or you can do something yourself. You can command him to do something. What are you doing?
I would
Just
bid
maybe random
Dole.
question real fast.
Yes.
So, like, because his orders were to be Dole's hands, so could he technically bid his orders?
I don't see any reason why not. Why can you not
I was just
have
curious
an
if that
immediate
was something
trait?
you could do.
Oh my god, what a cool ability for a commander.
Yeah.
You bid that and you like give this weird trait. It could be abused. We're gonna play with this. We're gonna play with it. But Dolby has to take it as an ability in the whole thing.
I'll
We'll see,
totally
and you
take
could
that
do-
one. That sounds great.
We'll see. We'll see. It won't just be that you give them a trait. It'll be something.
Well,
Placeholder
we're gonna
trait,
mess with
a
it.
temporary one.
Drizzle.
if we all have the trait orders,
Orders.
so
yeah.
then if we are trying to do something that they purposely told us to do, we could bid our trait orders to complete the order that was given. Well, to help complete the order.
That's
we all
right.
have the
That's
trait
right.
of 4 burning sensations.
I like that.
That's right. But we're talking about more of a mechanical type thing.
Sure.
Right?
Well, so it's
I mean,
something
I'm
that can
talking
last
to
for a
Drizzle.
scene.
I'm talking about Drizzle.
Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't mean
No, Jazzy, you're right. The thing is, that can be abused because it means if you all have it, then you have infinite traits, which ain't good. So we
Oh,
have
no,
to
no,
balance it somehow.
It would still be used. Like it's just one trait called orders. So once you use it, it's the same as per scene, but it is just one that it's not like we have an infinite. It is a single trait called orders that we could use once per scene to help us if we are completing something that was given to us as an order.
I think it would be cool to piggyback off that. If there's a command ability, so you've got to get the ability, you got to do the upgrade, and then maybe the second upgrade. And what it is, for example, anyone who has that command, okay, so you actually have to be in command of the person. Maybe you can give them an extra die.
I kind of have
Because that's
that.
something that's not present in the game right now. So, for example, Dolby could be like, "Oh, I bid this, I give him the extra die, and you could aid and do the extra die." So you can start. If everyone had it, you can give a person a shitload of extra dice, and maybe it's a D4, D6, D8. So you could have like
I was
tons of D8s. You're throwing down a huge fucking ton of dice, but you're spending a bunch of traits to do it. It's probably broken, but I think it'd be really cool.
well, I mean,
at
like
this
if you
point-
use. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, at this point, only one person can give it to everyone, and only Cherokee Sioux can give it to everyone else. So it's in this situation, it's not as broken because of the hierarchy. There are only
In this
right
situation.
now, yeah,
Right.
there are only 2 people who can give that out if they have that
But
command, or if they have the ability.
If I'm a player, hey Andrea, let's say you have this ability. Since your character has the lowest rank, technically, how would you use this ability? To command something
Orders?
to give them extra dice. Yeah,
Oh, to get orders or command.
either one.
I think he's asking for, since you're the lowest rank, how should the highest rank be approaching you? Is the,
No. No. The opposite.
no? The
How
opposite.
how could Katrina break this rule? Use orders to give someone who's technically a higher rank than them an extra die. Give me a situation.
Okay. An assist. So, like, for example, like, so
We
what I'm
have
looking
an-
for
we
is
have
the
an
only
aid.
way. Well, so like as an assist is what I meant. Like, so like,
I see.
So like in my thought is like you can only use orders if you like, so the orders are laid out, right, like per scene. So you can only use like descriptors in situations that fall within the bracket of the orders. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna get shot, orders, I'm fucking safe. Like that doesn't make sense. I get what you're saying about how it could potentially be exploited. But my thought on the as an assist is like, so for example, like me and Katrina are working together, and so like she bids orders, like she's acting out her orders, which is an aid to what I'm doing as the commander.
Right. Which is an aid, which is already a mechanic. So it's actually duplicating a mechanic that's already existing, which is broken.
Fuck.
And I have a lot of traits geared towards orders, like military life and
You know what we should do? We should have a
authority.
We should have an ability that did what we all did previous, where it says, hey, maybe it's not a whole like montage dream sequence, but it's an idea of a table talk. Hey, this is what I'm trying to get your character to do. Because the player has to agree to it when it really comes down to it. Interesting. Burgess, the action is still on you.
I look at Dole and I say, what do you need any extra hands? Is there any equipment that you're missing here?
As he looks up at you, you see he can't really walk very well. You see he's not doing incredibly good. Right?
He's got 4 more temporary hit points.
Neither grammar-wise or in reality-wise. Thank you, Ken.
And an extra brawn.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, because of Quirt.
Yep.
That actually will help him quite a bit. Indeed. Can you get a pip?
Same with Katrina. You get
As you see
4
him-
temporary hit points and 1 more brawn.
Katrina, hit that up.
Oh,
As
and
Dole
you have
starts
to make a
lift
sanity
himself up-
roll.
We'll get that in a second. As Dole gets up, he looks and points. I need you to get in that panel and connect those wires, as he points and tells you what wires they are.
Yeah, there's a drill over there in that box over there. So I'm gonna go get it.
Okay. As he starts messing around and pulling fuses and stuff.
So I go over there. I get the drill. I get a drill because I've gone through every box here, right? Every
course.
one of them. So I've got a drill. I've also got a hammer. So I guess we'll make it work. And I go up, and before I start to drill, I say, "Go look at that panel."
He does.
I give him another stem in the thigh, or a spike in the thigh.
Ah. Ooh. I feel great. As you see, like his like shit isn't right, but he doesn't seem to notice.
Yeah. So I start to
Yeah.
drill in and try and unscrew some of the or unscrew the apparatus, and if I get stuck, I'll take a hammer and I'll just try and pry it open.
You do the gadget thing. What do you bid?
I will bid. I'll bid soldier.
Bidding soldier. You make sure this job is done. As by the end of it, Burgess, you have pulled out lots of wires. It's all hanging down in these weird wires, just sparks and stuff. But as Dole amped, as he's like punching the wall, right? And you see like blood on his knuckles. You've amped him so many times. He yells as you switch on some chip in this pseudoscience as the engines turn back on. the D's Nuts freighter comes alive. There's a disco ball or two that's going in all the rooms. You got some music hitting. It's all sparkling off the stages and the stripper poles and such, as well as in the crowd chamber that you guys are currently in. Katrina, you were plopped into the cockpit, into the pilot seat. Action is on all of you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna bid Silas. Silas,
Key turns.
Can you
Sir.
use whatever frequency that you have of, or mimic whatever frequency that you have of the late great Vesper? I'm gonna try and take this thing to the clad ship, and maybe using some kind of fingerprint of Vesper will allow us to get a little bit closer. I mean, I don't know for sure, but
As Silas nods at you, Dolby, you know Silas at this point well enough to know that he is very competent. He's questioning how he can do it in his own mind. He's already considering the ideas as he says, yeah, it'll be hard, but I think I can do that.
just it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to give us a little window to get just a little bit closer.
He nods. As you're starting to walk away, he says, "Sir, Captain, we don't know what the clad has in terms of shields, deflectors, anything."
I'm hoping that this storm will take care of some of that.
He nods. He shares a glance with you, Jazzi. This is a glance you've seen several times, as it's okay. As Silas starts hacking on his little wristband. Action's on all of you. What are you doing?
All right. So I am gonna say to Katrina, just a reminder that the Earth is dying. We need to get out of here, and you're a great pilot. Please get us off this rock. And then I'm just gonna start to walk away.
Katrina will kind of, start running a quick diagnostic on the ship, and then sort of, tilt her head back. Oh, the planet's not dying. You guys are being so dramatic. But anyway, yes, I'll get the ship moving.
Thank you. Sir, what's the next move?
I'm gonna make my way to the cockpit, and all right, get on the intercoms. Okay, guys. Burgess, keep helping Dole. Skip, can you find some weapons on this thing and see if you can operate them?
Okay.
Lieutenant, you and I are gonna hang here with the princess, and we're gonna. She said that she could get us on board a ship in the past, and that's our primary objective. That's our orders from Captain Grimm, is to board the enemy ship.
Can I on the diagnostics? Can I see all the damage that I did when I?
Oh yeah.
So Katrina, as she's trying to figure out workarounds, to the chaos she caused. Wow. I mean, I was just going for some general hacking, but this is I ended up being more effective than I thought I would. Good. I'm pretty good at this, huh?
Well, let's hope that you're pretty good at getting this off the ground.
It would be way more fun if this was happening to not us. Do that to other people.
Yeah. Do this
Well,
to
when you
do this
kidnap
to the
people,
clan
they
ship.
tend not to like it.
Whatever you did to
Alright.
this ship, do it to the clad.
I radio in, and I say, Captain Dole's having the time of his life, but he's about to die.
He turns. I'm not a captain.
Burgess, you're a medic. Keep him alive. That's all I can say. Keep him alive and make sure that, we have engines.
Burgess, you can tell that
Burgess-
he is not in his right mind.
If you need an aid, call me. I'll come from the cockpit.
I need an aid.
All right, I'm out of here. Fucking leaving.
Because I don't know about Katrina's
Lieutenant-
situation.
I need you to remain here. Well, I'm gonna remain here with the princess, and you can go help Burgess, I guess, if that's what you're planning.
All right. Let's slow it down for a moment. Katrina, we're going to end. Well, actually, we're going to end with Drizzle before the break. So, first, Dolby just said what he did. Burgess just said what he did. Okay. Cherokee, do you stay or do you go?
Katrina, I'm going to leave it up to you. If you feel safe, I'll go help in the engineering room. If you don't, I'll stick around. I'm just trying to be a people pleaser in this moment. Keep the
I can
heat
handle
down
tall,
in the
dark, and
kitchen.
brooding. It's fine.
Okay. Captain Dolby is standing right there.
I know.
As Katrina's not looking, scene between Cherokee and Dolby as Cherokee turns from Katrina, and there's a moment. So it's a
I'll give him
medium
a big
shot.
hug.
It's a medium shot between Dolby and Cherokee. Action's on you guys. Go.
Big hug. It's coming. That 5 is coming. You're getting a big hug.
It's probably the only contact that I've had since the last contact that I've had from Cherokee Sioux. So I will embrace it. I don't get a whole lot of contact, so I'm probably
What do you guys bid?
starved
And
of it.
what is the narrative that you change?
So I'm going to use our shared trait, Crows of a Feather, and I'm going to try to mend the fence a little bit in this moment and be like, hey, I know I disobeyed a lot of orders, but you did give me some creative liberties. I was just trying to do what I thought was best and not defy you. And I hope you can understand that those aren't the same thing.
Well, we always have an HR manager on these vessels and on these missions. So, it's amazing how many times Space Marines have flown off the ends without a little bit of departmental I guess management. So I appreciate your insights, and if it was all up to me, I'd probably just wind up killing everybody, and what would that accomplish? So I appreciate the check.
I appreciate being seen. And, I honestly have seen a lot of growth. Like, your first reaction is not always murder now. You at least will check in.
Dolby kills you. All right, Dolby, what do you bid? Dolby, what do you bid, and how do you change this? Or keep it the same, strengthen it, whatever.
I bid calm under fire. Like, I know that Katrina is the only way that any of us are going to survive. Because if I had cut her head off, like, I would probably be the one flying the ship. And I'm not a great pilot. I'm sure I could pilot the ship. Went to flight school. We did the things, but it was a weekend course, and so
all of you can technically fly the ship. You can all gain a trait, which is technically can fly the ship or something thereof, preferably one word. I'm gonna give that up to you. So all of you went through Marine school. You can do it.
But it was a weekend
Katrina?
course. It's not. You can't do barrel rolls because if you do a barrel roll, you'll just fly into a building or.
Katrina,
You're talking
you
point A
are
to
all,
point B stuff.
Katrina, you already are a great pilot. So give yourself a trait that's about piloting.
I have one, but I can give myself another one. I'm happy to take it.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to take it if you don't want to. Dolby, as you and Cherokee, whether you say it, whether you see it in each other's eyes or in each other's helms or whatever it is, you communicate this. Is there anything else you three in the cockpit?
I can get you citizenship. If you need more, I'll do it. I'll see what I can do. This is a severe situation, and I don't know what it is that I see in you, and I've killed people who've done less to me.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I'm trying real hard to not do that. So consider yourself safe, and I appreciate, and I see you, Princess.
I'm just gonna pat Dalby on the back and walk out.
Drizzle. Action is on Skip Trace.
After his command, you see him, reach back for Betsy. And so he pulls out Betsy, make sure he grabs Lucille, make sure that connection's firm, and he disconnects it and gets everything ready. Like he knows himself, he's ready to go. And then he proceeds to start rummaging through, he wouldn't rummage because it's going to be more obvious. Like he'll check the bigger cabinets for a weapon stash, because he knows that it won't be like hidden. It would be like a big tray that came out with tons of guns, and it's probably like that scene in The Crow where he opens up that big double door thing, and there's all kinds of stupid weapons in there. You mean like this? So he opens up a door and it looks like
Just
this back here with all the weapons and stuff on the wall. And
What have you been?
I'm gonna bid that's not a knife.
I love that. Okay. Roll a d4.
It's a 3.
3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. We'll give it a d4 plus 1, so there's 4. Okay. All of you can look in the book, so the DreadLore core book, or the Into Space setting thing. Into space! You can find what is one of the weapons you want in there. Drizzle, you can as well, but you guys cannot have all 5. You can only have 4. Okay? So, do that as you will. As you start to the engines start up, Katrina, as you start the exit process, Alice Brick messages you, Dolby. Sir, Captain,
Al.
or actually she says Lieutenant.
What?
Brick? Nope, that's Captain.
Captain? You're a captain now.
I'm a captain. Brick, it's good to hear your voice.
Aye, sir. Me and this bug fella, who's quite beautiful, by the way. We're up in the capital. Would you like us to do something?
Well, if you want to come storm the castle with us, come down a couple of levels. I'll send you the coordinates. We're leaving in, I'm gonna say 8 minutes. We're getting on that clad. We're getting on that clad ship. There's a lot of bad shit up there. There's a lot of kobolds.
As that cutscene, as she looks at Archangel, she says, "I told you so." And Archangel kind of goes, "Yeah." Puts his helmet back on. As they start heading down, Archangel can lead them the right way. They will pass Captain Grimm and Lieutenant Commander Coolme. Do you want them to have any sort of exchange? Because it's a bunch of NPCs right now.
I think that's interesting. Would we know that they were passing each other? I knew that Grimm left, and I know they're coming down. I'm gonna get on the intercoms and say, we got some friendlies coming in, Grimm.
All right. Cutscene.
They're a strange. It's a strange group. There's a dude with. He looks kind of like a butterfly, or I don't know. I don't know what a butterfly looks like, but I'm pretty sure.
Understood, Captain. As a cutscene will occur, you will not know what happens in it. This will be something with Archangel and these NPCs. Let's see, Angel plus Grimm.
And then I will also relay the information to him that we're taking off in 8 minutes.
Alice will gain some information, so will Archangel. As they see certain things and they hear certain things and they come down, and moments later they enter D's Nuts, which is the ship you're on. Someone is an anonymous blobfish on the Into Space. Hello.
Hello, Blobfish.
Hello, blobfish. I'm suggesting anyone who's on the Into Space.
Oh, that's me.
Google Drive. Oh, it's you. You can actually comment and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh shit! What did I do? So.
Can I use a pip to say that the fifth thing is actually like a laser breacher, like something that I can use to like cut through metal walls? It's not technically a weapon.
Yep.
I do
Absolutely. You do. And on this note, we will take a break.
Everybody.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we're going to figure out what these weapons and such are, or just pieces of equipment. Who wants to lead us out?
Isn't it Jazzy?
Oh shit, that's me.
Do it.
Hold on.
So it's basically
I know what I'm
just the
doing.
same thing.
Yeah.
So you
When
need
we
to
come back,
edit,
we'll do the sponsor and all that stuff.
you need to edit the post, and instead of saying yourself, put Drizzle there, because you had originally sent it to me as why it says yourself instead of Drizzle.
Oh.
I think that's why I realized halfway through, I was like, I didn't say Drizzle, and he wasn't on the list, so that must have been yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Into space.
Right.
Spurs. So we have been playing DreadLore, a new TTRPG that rewards immersive gameplay. Tonight's game is Into Space. You heard him say it first. And last. In DreadLore, players use their character traits to gain a bit of control over the fiction. If the task is imposed or particularly difficult, they might have to throw down dice. Introduce the cast. Real quick, I am Jazzi Cabbage, also Cherokee Sue. We have Ken Howl as Dolby. We have Andrea Elliott-Johnson as Katrina. We have Daniel Holker as Burgess. Burgess, question mark?
Burgess.
Max is Silas, and Bill Bunkum are lovely Arbor. And thanks to the music from Lowercase Letters and Mr. Interrupt,
Lowercase
and our
letters.
Patreon peeps, Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and Daniel Holker. Thanks to Catfire Media for the production and all the visuals you see. Thanks to Terry Blade. Thanks to Replay Productions for whatever they do. Bill, you got anything else?
Nope. We're gonna be back in how long, Ken?
Whenever.
How about 10 minutes?